We're doing a podcast. We're doing a podcast. Get off the loo.
Get off, man.
Get off your shoes.
Kick him right off.
And don't go for a poo.
Do it, I'll kill you.
Here's what you're going to do. You're gonna listen up to me and Sean talk about Tish, alright?
Do it, bitch.
The Funky Podcast. The Funky Podcast. The Funky Podcast. The Funky Podcast. Woo! Welcome to the Funky Podcast. My name is Kieran.
And my name is Sean.
So Sean, welcome to our year anniversary. It's been a year since.
Has it really? Fucking
It
hell.
actually been a year.
It feels shorter and longer at the same time.
I agree. So Sean, I know. Look, I usually say what are we talking about today, but like we have like so many plans for stuff, so
Yeah.
like it's a bit confusing. But you can ask what we're talking about today, and I'll tell you.
Okay, then, what are we talking about today?
We are going to be pitching films again. Sean. Yeah. Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. So, I know you have a couple of ideas.
I do. I have the greatest ideas.
Yeah. Do you want to start off, or shall I?
I will let you start off
Okay.
because I'm nice.
Okay.
I'm very nice.
Yeah. So we'll do it one by one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea for a film called Hayden and Hayden.
Hayden and Hayden.
Yes.
Eh?
So it will star Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker, and I believe she's a model / actress, Hayden Panettiere.
Panettiere, I think.
Panettiere, and they go on holiday to the UK.
Oh, that's always like, like anytime you hear like we're going on holiday to the UK, that's like always like chills down the spine. It's like, oh no, what's going to go wrong?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm intrigued. What would they do in the United Kingdom?
From my description, shenanigans occur.
Oh, shenanigans. I love shenanigans. Like, I would say I'm a bigger fan generally of tomfoolery and of hijinks, but like shenanigans are like a solid like third place in terms of like my favorite activities.
Yeah.
So yeah, shenanigans occur. Will anyone else be like appearing in this to help with the Haydens?
No.
Oh. Is this gonna be like a two-person show?
Well, it's one movie. It's like a road trip thing, you know. They
I
go
see.
to the UK.
I see.
That's
Like,
that's all you need to know.
Is anyone else in it though?
Well, like UK people, like
UK.
Piers Morgan.
I mean, people, quote unquote, but yeah.
You know, just
Piers Morgan. Wow.
Yeah, Piers Morgan, Callum Adams. You know, just
Callum Adams.
the regular UK people. You know.
Yeah, that's the the usual, the bread and butter UKers.
But the main important thing is the UK people in terms of just people that you see. So we'll just film random people and they'll give out in their UK ways.
Wowzers! Will we be asking permission or paying them at all?
No.
I love it. I'm a big fan of like exploitive capitalism.
Yeah.
It's one of my. That's like also up there with like shenanigans and tomfoolery as my favorite things.
Yeah.
Exploitive capitalism.
Yeah. That's it. That's my pitch.
Wow. I am blown away. I am blown away. So my pitch right here. I've had this one cooking. You know, as they say, what was he cooking? Let him cook. Well, I cooked, and I cooked up the most cookful premise that's ever been cooked. So there has been in the discourse out there in the world, there has been a divide going on between the MCU and every other form of cinema ever made. And people have been at it for a while, and I think it's time I put my foot down and I put a stop to all this. We have to mend the gap, and to do that, I propose this new idea for a film where we see Kevin Feige, the MCU man, the dude, out there in the world, he sees Martin Scorsese has like said a new quote in like an interview saying like he doesn't like the what the MCU is doing, and he's like, oh, I wish that like Scorsese guy could like see all the work we're putting into all this, you know. Then like Scorsese sees that like World War Hulk has like broken like box office records, and he's like, Mamma Mia, these motherfucking MCU is it really takes the sauce out of my spaghetti, you know, Mamma Mia. He talks like that exactly, I'm aware. But then like one night there's a thunderstorm above Hollywood. Like as the two go to bed, there's a thunderstorm, and then as the night passes and they wake up, Feige wakes up in the body of Martin Scorsese, and then Scorsese wakes up in the body of Kevin Feige, and they exclaim in unison at separate points, so that just happened. And then that's the title of the movie, So That Just Happened. And what we do is we get this hilarious romp where like Kevin Feige has to like finish directing like Scorsese's latest picture, while like Scorsese has to like manage like the 15 different MCU projects. We get like co-starring appearances from like all the usual gang. Like on the Marvel side, we get Paul Rudd, Brie Larson, we get Anthony Mackie, like all the classics. We see on the Scorsese,
Joe Johnston,
yeah.
John Favreau,
of course. Then we see on Tom Holland as well. Then we see on like the Scorsese side all his classic bang people. We see De Niro, DiCaprio, Pesci, God, Al Pacino, like all his crew coming in, just like cooking some like cinema magic.
Yeah.
And it's like in the end, they successfully complete each other's projects, and then they meet up. And they have a heart-to-heart saying like, "Yo, I've walked a mile in your shoes, and like I see where you're coming from." Then like they hug it out, and then they return to the regular bodies.
Yeah, that is.
And then we get another after credit scene there. You know, because like like it's classic for like the Marvel stuff. So we get an after credit scene, and in this after credit scene, like Feige goes to bed, Scorsese goes to bed, then another thunderstorm happens, and we see Feige has switched bodies with James Gunn.
Oh.
And then on the flip side, Scorsese has switched bodies with Quentin Tarantino.
Oh.
And that sets up the exciting sequel. So That Just Happened too. That was awkward. That's the full title of it there.
Oh wow, that's
so we got 4 different perspectives in that one.
That's really, really interesting.
Yeah,
I like that.
Really, I think this would do a lot of good for society.
Yeah, it would. And I say Martin would be up for that. He seems like he has a sense of humor. So,
he does.
I think that's an excellent pitch, and it could really give like different perspectives of what we have to go through as 2 different people who have 2 different minds and stuff like that. It's a really interesting premise. I think you have a lot of good there.
Yeah.
And it could see the hard side from both perspectives and realize that we all have our pros and cons and things like that. So yeah, I love that. It's really good.
Yeah.
Comedic thing. So my next one is called Honey 5.
Honey 5.
Yeah, it's a sequel to the film Honey. You see, Honey is a franchise. Well, I thought it was 1 film, but it turns out there's 4 altogether. The second one doesn't have honey in it, even though it's called Honey 2.
Should be called Honeyless.
Yeah. And the only one that comes back is Honey's mother. And her rival, who's somehow in between jobs as someone in court, like a judge, which doesn't make any sense, but, cameo. And then the third one doesn't have anyone, just a reference. So, yeah, I was part of Honey Daniel's studio or something like that, just in name. And Honey 4 doesn't have any connection.
This is the most like a franchise has gone off the rails since like The Land Before Time, I would say.
But this is where I come back to it. This could be called Honey 5, or this could be called Honey 2. And the reason it be called Honey 2 is because the 2 can be in brackets, hence the, the sci-fi element I want to give with, the idea, when you rename something,
Yeah.
or like you call something the exact same thing and it says, and it comes up 2 in brackets.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Honey 2. So Honey Daniels finally returns to helm her craft of the dance. The dance studio has been a great success, and all the kids still continues to go to the group, and it has expanded. But on the outskirts of town lives the very lady that is a dance rival of Honey, who I think is the judge, but we can leave her off. Just pretend it didn't happen. It's not canon. She's very sad, and she goes crying to her pops about Honey, and her pops is played by Forrest Whitaker, and she's going on about how she's just had so much success. Honey has everything, and she just wants to get her back because she's jealous. So her pops puts his sunglasses on, and the camera pans, and he says the words, "Let's get this party started." And we get a montage of shots of computers and him working with him, writing down stuff with a pen, and the montage ends with him faded over the image, having a maniacal laugh to himself. We cut to an exterior shot of the house, and Honey is asleep with her hobby. Father Ted POV style, in the style of when they stole the whistle. Pops breaks into the house and robs him, and just like in Father Ted, he flips the guy off. Honey wakes up, strapped down, and gets everything explained to her. She then is introduced to her. As it turns out, they have created a Honey clone called Honey 2. It's up to Honey to destroy this Honey clone so that she can make it back in time for the group's dance floor event. Honey 2 is an AI bot and knows all of Honey's moves. So this story is about how true mind, body, and spirit always triumphs over machines, especially when they are based solely on you.
Wowzers. I think this is a very current message, very relevant message right now. I think, you've really, what you've done is you've elevated Honey very much so to a whole new level of just pure writing and like art right here. I think this is what the franchise needs to get back on track.
I mean, you can have references to the other thing. You can have Mackay fight for back. You can have all this kind of stuff, and you can have our friend. I would put our friend in it, but I think the most important thing to really get to the soul is to face yourself in a sort of way, even if it's, an experiment or an AI bot or something like that. And I love Forrest Whitaker. I think he could definitely pull this off, really, as an evil father.
I agree. I think you've you've cooked. You have cooked.
Yeah, I was thinking for the third act to go mental and have like a giant Forrest Whitaker, and just like have like Honey where like I don't know,
Whitakerzilla.
Whitakerzilla, and like have Honey fly through the ceiling like Batgirl or like Supergirl costume, and then like one of the like little kids does a ninja kick into Forrest Whitaker's balls, and like falls over.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just thinking like if the third act went mental, it would be great. But like the Suicide Squad or something, like a superhero. But I think the AI bot is fine. I think that's
we can save the kaiju stuff for like Honey 3, which I hope would be called Hun 3Y.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Okay. What's your pitch?
Okay, so this is technically more than one pitch. This is multiple pitches. This is like a series pitch more than anything. So in the 2000s, now some of our loyal audience of 7 people might be even too young to remember this, but there was like a big trend of parody movies. We had got kickstarted with like Scary Movie. Well, okay, we want to go way back. It got kickstarted with like Airplane and the like, but like this was a specific almost subgenre of parody movie that got kickstarted with like Scary Movie. Then we had Superhero Movie, Date Movie, Epic Movie, None Other Team Movie. There was just like so many of these. Meet the Spartans, of course. the defining work of the subgenre, and like they kind of like into the 2010s they trailed off. They kind of died out. You know, like the last one we really got was like I think it was like what 50 Shades of Black, with like the Wayans and like that was.
I talked about this before in something not it was one of our first podcasts actually
I
about.
believe so.
Remember I said like Piano Movie and how much I was so sick of that kind of movies being made. And
Yeah,
stuff.
no.
I think it was like worst movies.
A
or
lovely
something like
throwback for our anniversary
that. Yeah,
we're having right now.
Yeah.
But I propose, since it's been long enough that like people can like reasonably be nostalgic about that stuff, like we gotta bring it back. We gotta like bring it back into a new era. So here's like a few of my pitches I propose. We gotta do underwater movie.
Okay.
There's been like so many out of nowhere, like just like all of a sudden, there's been like a bunch of like underwater movies like coming out recently. Like
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, Aquaman 2, like 1 as well by extension, but like Aquaman 2 is coming out this year. Ruby Gillman, Avatar: The Way of Water, Wakanda Forever, and there's it's just like so many of these. So
I guess you can throw in the Kristen Stewart underwater.
yeah, we can. Oh, The Meg as well, kind of. I guess
Yeah,
The Meg.
Yeah.
There's been so many. So
Yeah, with King Shark and
King Shark, yeah. So I propose we gotta have like the underwater movie, where like what happens is like the deep sea diving like explorer team like go underwater, and they discover Aquaman, and then they get into some like hilarious shenanigans and hijinks with Aquaman, and then they have to like fight off one of the beasts from like Avatar with a Navi to assist them, and then there's like since they already like covered DreamWorks in like an Epic movie, I believe it was, they can go back to that with Ruby Gillman now in like a similarly cheap looking costume. It'll look so terrifying and epic, but like it'd be all the shenanigans like in the hijinks, like they would get up to like some hilarious like classic like humor, and like knowing like the kind of humor they go with, I imagine like this is just me objectively saying like this is a scene they would do. I'm not saying I support this. But like I can imagine they'd like have a scene where like they have to like go and fight a whale, and then it's like Brendan Fraser's character in The Whale, and they make a bunch of fat jokes. And I'm just saying like that is exactly the type of thing they would have done at the time. So like I feel like we gotta have a scene like that in there to like really just like complete the whole aesthetic,
No, they would have Jack Sparrow in court.
Oh, they would. They fucking would. Oh no.
No,
Oh, that's the setup.
That's the they would.
No, that's the setup. They have to like help like Jack Sparrow and Mara like in their court selling. That would actually be the fucking setup they use.
Okay, let's stop talking about this.
No, I'm just saying that is what they do though.
They do that. I believe they did that with like Johnny Depp characters before in that Hunger Games parody they did. So.
Oh man, the Hungover Games, another
I think
classic.
Yeah, that was that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's your other one, please? I want to get off.
Okay, so the next one we have A24 movie.
Oh yeah.
This is like a parody of all the A24 movies that they've made, and it would like So what we'd have is we'd have the Lighthouse Crew, played by the Wayans brothers, two of the Wayans brothers.
Yeah.
And they'd be like in the lighthouse. There'd be a big thunderstorm going on.
Yeah.
And like the thunderstorm would unlock the multiverse.
Oh.
And then they meet up with the cast of Everything Ever All at Once. And what they'd have to do afterwards is they'd have to go into like the world of the Green Knight and get up into some shenanigans with the Green Knight creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And what would happen like after that is that I just try and like think from their perspective, like they'd probably Midsummer, yeah, they go to Midsummer.
They probably get Anna Faris to play.
Oh no, they do Midsummer, but like with the protagonist Lady Bird.
Oh.
Wait, is that an A24 movie?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I didn't research for this, as you can see. So what they'd like bring that in as well. Then there'd be like a whole scene where they have to
they go through the cult. Or...
The cult, yeah, they go through the cult, and then there'd be the witch as well. They have to like go through like the witches from The Witch.
Okay.
As their next foes. And this is like this is all with like the exact same like classic type of humor as well, like the very highbrow stuff that's set by Epic Movie and Date Movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it would really like expand. It'd really expand like the whole like appeal of the brand to the A24 kids.
Yeah.
I think it would be very impactful.
Yeah. It would be.
Oh, they have to. I forgot Tusk is an A24 movie. They have to do something with that
Oh
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah. Speaking of the parody movies, would we include since the Kardashians and stuff like that were in some of the other ones, like Bruce Jenner appears in the whole Hunger Games, and Kim was in the disaster movie.
Oh, jeez.
So do we include like TikTok girls now?
Yeah, Dixie D'Amelio plays Lady Bird in the movie.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Who else? Who else do we get? Who else is big on TikTok? I admit I haven't paid attention to TikTok.
No,
That Dixie D'Amelio is about as like current as I can get with that.
What about Lauren Gray from as Midsommar?
Oh God, yes. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
As oh God, who else? There's a lot of like shit we could like put in here. We go like the YouTube stars and everything as well. Like we can put Oh, let's put Danny Gonzalez in it as one of the characters from The Witch. Let's do that. Let's put Callum Adams in here because we love him.
Oh yeah, of course.
I imagine he'd have a lot of fun like on the set of this.
Man, he'd vlog it, you know.
He'd vlog the whole thing. Like
honestly,
he would leak the whole thing.
Yeah, honestly,
through vlogs.
I'd feel bad for him because he's such a good presence of being in this piece of shit, you know. Like,
yeah,
I would feel bad to be honest, but yeah,
I would too. But you know, that's life.
What if it's not him, like in it, but what if the whole movie is him reacting to it?
We have to release a second cut, and it's just him in the corner with his webcam, just reacting to the whole thing. You can't even release that as a reaction. That's just the Callum cut.
Okay, is that all your parody movies?
Oh. You know, like since they're technically active again, let's get Smosh in the movie as well.
Oh, God.
I think they'd slap. Let's get that movie. But yeah, last one I got is Netflix movie. This is one. This is one I know you talked about.
Yeah.
But at the very least, like a lot of Netflix movies coming out recently as well, so we can get like, we can have the plot of it be the meteor from Don't Look Up is coming down, and as such, like they have to. So what they have to do is they have to find the cast of Bright, and they try to like shoot down the meteor, and it doesn't work. So what they do next is they go to the cast of Way of the Dog as well, and they shoot it down. It doesn't work. And then they go to
Lock and Key.
Lock and Key. They try to shoot it down. It doesn't work. They get the TV shows in there as well. So we got like Wednesday. They go to Wednesday. She tries to shoot it down. It doesn't work.
One of us is lying.
Oh yeah, One of Us is Lying.
Yeah.
They get the cast of that in there. They all try to shoot down the meteor. It doesn't work. Then they get the cast of Nimona and all the characters from Nimona in there. Try to shoot it down, it doesn't work. The cast of Mitchell's versus the Machines, they try to shoot it down, it doesn't work.
Bridgerton,
yeah, they try to shoot the meteor down, it doesn't work.
The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, she tries to like play chess with the meteor to like blow it up, it doesn't work.
Trollhunters.
All the cast of Trollhunters, like they all like put their best efforts together, they try to shoot down the meteor, and it doesn't work. They get the cast of, like Del Toro's Pinocchio in there, like Pinocchio like tries to like knock it out with his nose, but it doesn't work. You know, in the end, they go through a few more franchises, then they all die. Because everyone was like a stupid bitch that like tried to like shoot down the meteor, and it couldn't work.
Yeah, that's good.
A more potent message, I think, than the actual movie. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I like it. It's cool. Yeah. We wouldn't have enough people for money to people to reprise the role, so a lot of it will be the same people playing different characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like one is just one actor is all the family.
Well, with some strong naughty professor influence over here.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Okay. I would get Annalisa Cochran from One of Us is Always Lying as Wednesday, and they get Jenna Ortega as our character from One of Us is Lying. You know,
that'd be very good. Oh yeah, we gotta have the Stranger Things kids in there as well.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So what they do is 11 like levitates in the air, tries to like knock it out with her mind, and will you believe what happens next?
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
I can actually imagine, like the trailer. It's like, duh.
Oh no, yeah. And they'd have to have a character afterwards say, "So that just happened."
Oh wow. And then like one of them looks at the camera. You want to watch Netflix and chill? The meteor just goes over him and then dies. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and another thing they have to like find in the Netflix movie, they find the kids from Big Mouth, and they don't try to get them to help. They just kill them because they look hideous.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Also the yeah, no, we could go on all day about this. Yeah, it's I'm not a fan, but you know, it's interesting enough.
I think there is potential.
No, there isn't. But yeah. Sorry, I'm not very positive on that. Some of those movies have scarred me for life, honestly.
Yeah. Well, skill issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, for my next one, Zero to Hero, and basically it has someone who is what's the name? Sorry, my brain is gone because Harmony's outside. You remember when I was talking about it? It's the one where there's like a lad who's a video game character. And basically he's a video game character and gets sucked into another world, which is our world, and he ends up basically a little girl walks in and she's like, ah! And like, you're the guy from the video game, oh my god, or whatever.
It's like Last Action Hero, kind of.
Yeah, something like that. But basically she's like trying to hide him from like society and stuff like that, 'cause she doesn't want people to know. It's sort of like, you know, hide the alien from the parents or whatever. And
like Aliens in the Attic.
or no, like E.T., man.
I mean, I feel like Aliens in the Attic is a bit more iconic, but okay.
Anyway, this girl goes to school and he ends up following her because he feels protective over her because she protected him basically, but he's afraid that villains might come for her, so he's like disguising himself with like a big jumper and a hat, and he's like old, like he's in his 30s, so he would definitely get caught out if he was a high school student, but you know what, he ain't doing that. So it's him like hiding from society, and a villain is breaking through and stuff from the video game and things like that, and all hell might break loose. It's just he's trying to hide and stuff, and they have a plan to get him back to the game and stuff. And this is the reason it's called Zero to Hero is because as big as heroes are, it's someone who's the little girl who has nothing is a hero because she's protective of this guy, and is a hero because if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have. He would be Zero too. So,
and like he was originally coded, so he was made of ones and zeros. So
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It all works out.
Yeah. So there's a very funny scene which I've thought of, which there's a dance class. And there's a performance, and one of the dancers breaks their knee, and it's up to him, since he's free, to fill in because the teacher forces him to, even though she doesn't know that he's not a student. She thinks he's a student, but anyway, he's there on stage, and next thing there's like a glitch, and his mind is back in the video game, and he's fighting off foes, but his body is still on the stage, and he has to basically do dance moves but fight. So he's like in a headlock with somebody, but on stage it just looks like he's dancing and leading some sort of dancing, and the teacher's very impressed because she doesn't know the full story of what's going on, and the little girl is tearing the hair out of her head but is like hoping everything turns out fine, which it does. So yeah.
All's well that ends well. Yeah.
For the girl, I have in mind Catherine Newton from Freaky, and I believe she was in Ant-Man Quantumania as well. And for the guy from the video game, I have in mind Jamie Foxx
Oh.
and Usher or something like that. Someone along that caliber. So yeah.
Yeah, with Usher and Jimmy Fox, they both do music. Would they contribute a song to the soundtrack?
Well, if either one plays them, if Jamie could contribute to the soundtrack, that would be great. If he's playing the character, and if Usher wants to, yeah, you know,
Wowzers.
yeah,
I think you've made a very compelling premise right there.
yeah, 0 to hero.
0 to hero. So up next, from my side of things, you may be aware of Poltergeist, either the film or the concept.
Mm-hmm.
You may also be aware of an actor known as Will Poulter. Been making the rounds lately from Guardians, but he's been getting work for a long time. So I propose what we have to do right here is I think we should really combine the two. So we got Poltergeist, P-O-U, Altergeist. And what this is a family. They buy out this new abandoned house. They're going to refurbish it and everything and live in it. It's going to be very, very, very nice. Very nice. But they discover soon that there is a reason for the house's very cheap price, and that is that it is haunted. Not haunted by just anyone, but that it formerly belonged to Will Poulter. And all the characters he's played previously. Because he gets so deep into method acting. He becomes the characters, and when he leaves it behind, their ghosts still remain in the house. So, what the family have to do is they have to fight off every Will Poulter character that ever has been to save themselves. And it all culminates in a big fight against Adam Warlock, which of course is the hardest one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very compelling. They're getting terrorized by all the Will Poulter characters. And it's
so it would be him from Where the Millers and
him from Where the Millers, from The Maze Runner,
the Revenant, the scary one from the Detroit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's cool.
Then culminating in Adam Warlock.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And in the final moment, it looks like all is lost, and he's about to beat them. But then who busts through the door at the last minute to save them but Will Poulter himself? And he walks right up to Adam Warlock and he says, "Nah," and he just decks him right in the head and kills him in an instant. Extremely anticlimactic ending, but I think it fits.
Yeah, no, it's more climatic than The Cabin in the Woods anyway. If you've ever seen that motion picture,
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, no, I like that. I think Will would be so up for that. It's sort of not a big John Malkovich, but a kind of not Last Action Hero, but kind of expanding that out a little bit. It's cool, and I'm sure Will will be up for reprising his role as each character.
A great message about the dangers of method acting too hard.
Yeah,
because you may end up creating a nexus of personalities that will go on to terrorize those who come after them.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. This is really cool. It kind of reminds you a bit of, for Will, it would probably feel like Split a little bit as well.
A little bit,
so, yeah. That's cool. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So this project actually means a lot to me. So it's called Claudeline, and so I have this idea. So it will star Reese Witherspoon, and she plays a woman who grew up poor but has an education and a job and is doing her best to help provide things, helping out her adoptive parents who adopted her when she was a kid, and he's played by Forrest Whitaker. So she discovers voices in her mirror of her flat, and she gets taken inside of it, similar through the Looking Glass, or a lot of movies where they go through the mirror. She meets different creatures, and they are kind to her, and she gets taken to a chief. He's this big kind of, just imagine a big creature, like a Lord of the Rings type thing, but a really cool one, a buff one. and he's voiced
A sexy one.
Yeah, he's voice slashed motion captured by Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, even sexier.
Yeah, so he's like, "You're the chosen one. You are our savior, and we've been looking for you. Your destiny. You may not be the one, but you want to face. But this is what you must do." And then he's like, "There's darkness that is going to come. The chief is a foreseer and has foreseen that one which will unleash darkness to the world, and the world will be filled with pain." And then there's like people with power and stuff like that need to like save us, but they can't. And she's like, "No." So she leaves. And suddenly the very next day on the news, there's things about darkness being unleashed to the world. And there's a main character, which is played by Kristen Ritter from Jessica Jones. So Claudeline goes to her adopted parent, and he basically tells her he knows about the creatures and what they're saying is true, and he wants no more of that. And she's angry for not telling her, and he's like, "I was protecting you because I didn't want you to get killed. I didn't want you to go with monsters. I wanted you to be safe. I was doing what I could to bring you up in the right way. I know we didn't have enough. I know we were poor, but I'm the one that wanted to help you." But she storms out anyway because she's conflicted. So anyway, she goes back to the world, goes back to the chief, and she's like, "Look, whatever I can do what I was made for, I suppose." And basically they're like, "Okay, let's go into battle." And they're like, "Okay, let's do it." And she's like giving them all wrong directions and basically doesn't really know how to lead this, and is doing her best and gets a lot of the army killed when they go into the world, back to her world where all of the darkness is breaking loose. So they go through a portal back. Some people are bruised and full of blood and things like that. And basically, the Reese character Claudeline is like, "I don't know what I'm supposed to do." And the chief is like, "Look, I trust in you. Some people don't anymore, but I still believe you are the one. You are our savior. You can do this." And basically, she heard the story when she was a kid that there was this foreseer that could have this orb to bring the world back to peace and get rid of all the darkness that is here. So anyway, they go through some sort of a journey to get that. They get it, and basically some things go bad, some things go good. But the very end of it is basically the witch has the orb in her hand, has a little talk. Forrest Whitaker, adopted parent, is tied up. Claudeline is like having a back and forth with the witch and stuff like that. And through a portal, the chief, played by Samuel L. Jackson, similar to Wizard of Oz, just chops off the witch's head, looks down on the floor, and he says, "What a cruel world." And then the Claudeline has the choice of going with the chief or staying with her adopted parent. But her adopted parent knows now that she's old enough, she's wise enough, that he'll be okay if she leaves. And she says, "I'll come back." But she goes off with the chief through the portal, and she becomes she takes on her destiny. So, yeah.
Wowzers. That's a very compelling idea. Yeah, I think it'd be like very unique because, like, there's not really at the minute. There's not really like a big like fantasy, like there aren't like really many big like fantasy movies like coming out at the minute.
Yeah.
Like I feel like over the last like 10 years or so, that's something that's become like kind of a rarity.
Yeah.
So I think it fills out that niche very well.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think like I'd like to see something like that like being made again, especially like it's not an IP or anything, and of course so.
Yeah.
I think it's a very very good idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you have any more ideas? Okay, I have a few. Fuck's sake, Sean. Okay.
No. Going back to like the parody movie idea, like they had Meet the Spartans during the parody era. So I think like to complete the list, we need to do something like that. Where we need to take like two like big, completely like unrelated films and just like mash them together into like one like unholy concoction.
Okay.
So I propose No Iron Feelings, No Hard Feelings, and Marvel.
Okay.
So basically, the deal with it is, there's a young Iron Man, and he's struggling in his love life, and he needs to have sex. That's it. That's the whole fucking premise.
Wow. That's really interesting.
Yeah, no, I think they'd have eaten it up during that era very much.
Is that it?
That is it. That's the note I want my contributions here to be left on.
Okay. Well, I have an idea for something really quick. So I have an idea for Pitch Perfect 4, because I feel like that needs to happen.
Pitch Perfect.
No. Pitch Perfect 4. Sean, I would never let you title movies. You were literally the person that titled The Expendables. That must have been you.
Oh, the Expend 4 Bulls.
Yeah, that was you. I bet you that was you. You were like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
studio, I got an idea. And they were like, all right, let's do it. Damn you. Okay,
I've been like, I was like, I remember when Despicable Me 3 came out, like I was like saying to people, like I was fuming they didn't just call it Despicable 3.
Yeah.
If I was in charge, like this is all the gimmicky shit I'd be doing, you know? I guess that's why no one hires me.
No. So, Pitch Perfect 4. Basically, everybody comes back. Everybody comes back and... What the hell is that? Okay, so, sorry. Yeah, it's fine. Pitch Perfect 4. Everybody comes back. Becca is older, doing what she can. So, basically, what I want is for this to be the final movie in the franchise. They all kind of meet up together just to go for dinner or a drink or something. Becca's brother walks in and to the bar, and she hasn't seen her younger brother in a very, very long time, and they're talking away and stuff like that, and you know, just family stuff, and is getting back to kind of Becca's intimate side of her character and things like that. So you're following her throughout this for a little bit. And you see her father from the first movie reprising his role as well, and it's kind of getting back to that a little bit. And basically, the story is that she has a love for the ginger girl who I can't. I had it written down and my brain is gone and my phone decides not to. But basically, the ginger girl, whatever her name is, I think it's like
Ginger people like don't deserve
I
names.
think it's Chelsea, but I can't remember. I really, really can't. And yeah, well, it's called Chaleka, so I guess her name is Chelsea.
Okay.
And it comes canon. Her brother I had, he can be named Sam, and Bumper can come back, but I want him as like a carol salesman because I think it'd be funny. And basically, it's just... The idea is just to get this back to basics, back to what it was. Back to an intimate story and one last show for them. And I was thinking the thing could have The Show Must Go On from the Queen in the trailer. Yeah. So that's what
the
I was
review
thinking.
must go on as well. The iconic nostalgia critic outro.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that idea anyway. And
Pretty great idea. Yeah.
yeah, and wait, there was. Oh yeah, so another idea then is called a time travel story. This one is means a lot to me as well. Time travel story. So basically, there's this young girl again. Me with my young girls. Okay. That sounded kind of
Least creepy YouTuber.
yeah. Look, I like doing it not because of the idea of that, but there's always like a sense of like safety, and there's a sense of more of a vulnerability to that, especially.
Yeah, it's young adult fantasy and stuff.
Yeah, and I just I don't know if I prefer it, but I find it more intriguing, like Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth and in Mirror Mask, and in
Like coming of age stories.
not necessarily coming of age, but I don't know. This is always like a sense of more of a heart, I guess,
Like an innocence.
an innocence. Yeah. So, for this one, it will be, basically her father's dead, and her mother has a bit of dementia, and she's
A bit of dementia, okay.
well, I don't know, like a bit like not full, like
Yeah,
just a
like it's
bit,
coming on though.
yeah, well, like a bit just on the crazy side a little bit, and she's like trying to uh be positive, and she doesn't have a lot of money. She's in school and she's not finding that too good, and then suddenly sees like a flash outside her room, and it's she goes into a bin, and it's what seems to be some weird device. So she takes it in, she types the number in, and basically she ends up going back in time. She hears music by like the TV, and it's a kid's program, and it's her when she was a kid, and she can hear her mother in the kitchen singing, and she hears her father in another room, and she like runs upstairs, and her mother comes out, just what was that, and then she like goes back in time, goes back to the future, and basically she's like, okay, I can save my father from dying, and she goes back in time. He still dies. It's something she can't save. Like she tries just the once, but she knows she can't, and basically the time machine gets broken by some people that killed her father. So she's like, she goes to a phone booth to try to see the person who originally made the time machine, and the scientist opens the door, and it's someone who looks a lot older in the pictures that she's seen and stuff like that. So it's really weird to her to see this and stuff like that. And basically, she manages to get back to her original time after she's told about all this sort of stuff. But she gets this like speech that you can't really change the past. You can't save everybody and stuff like that. And sometimes you just have to let go of certain things, and sometimes you have to live for what you have. And she has like one choice to do, like a couple of final trips. So she goes to a couple of her backstory. It's similar to that movie with Donald Gleason. I can't remember what it's
About
called.
time.
Yeah, where he like sees like bits of him when he was growing up with his father and things like that. And she goes back, and she sees like silhouettes of them on the beach or them out, and she basically just visits like different times of her, sort of almost like a Christmas Carol and things like that. So it's more of like an intimate time travel story and things like that, and it's about like life and things like that we don't always have it and stuff. Nothing too like sci-fi or major or anything like that. So so the very end would be her in the classroom making a speech about like life, and it gets the biggest applause ever. And it's like during that monologue she'll like see different parts of her life and stuff. And if I had a choice for the actress, I would get Annalisa Cochran from One of Us is Lying, or the girl that played Janae. I can't remember her name right now, but and Amelia Jones as well could do. Those are the three that I have in mind anyway, because they stood out to me in shows I've seen recently. And for the scientist, I don't really have any choices. I can't go Christopher Lloyd, but
Two on the nose.
It would be so confusing. But yeah. I'll have a think about that one. But yeah.
No, it sounds very good. Like there's a lot of potential there for like a very very emotional, like very intimate story. I think.
Yeah.
One I think like yeah, a lot of people could probably like very much identify with.
Yeah. And would you like to hear my final one?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, I had a pitch for a telephone movie, but I don't know. It's like an Alexander Graham Bell biopic, but like way too on the nose and like just weird. And like like I was gonna have his wife, like he wants to give her a ring, but like it just I don't know. It was just so stupid. But basically,
Would Lady Gaga's telephone perchance?
I was gonna
be
have
centric?
like an orchestra version, like
Oh
during
god, do
the
the
ball dance.
do the like the epic like overly dramatic like trailer music, but it's telephone.
Anyway, I don't know about that movie, but that would be very interesting. But my idea is actually called Midsummer too, and I want to do a full video on this one day. I might get someone who's actually seen the movie. I don't think you've seen it yet. So.
Not yet.
Okay. Let me know when you have, and we might do an episode together. But
Cool.
basically, the idea is, without spoilers, of course, for the first movie, but basically, there's a lot of unanswered questions, and not just about the main characters, but people related to them back home. And I really want to pitch it to Ari Aster or just ask him questions about it, because there's a lot of things that don't add up. Like, there's people that might be related to the people that went on holiday over here, and when they don't come back, they're gonna have a lot of questions, like how did they cover up people just suddenly disappearing and not coming back with no contact? What the hell, There's obviously gonna be some questions there, so I would have Forrest Whitaker. God, really casting him a lot, aren't I?
3 for 3 today.
Yeah, I mean, if he worked with me, I'd have a lot of work for him.
Yeah, he can be like one of your mainstays.
Yeah. Sort of Samuel L. Jackson, Quentin Tarantino sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson, Wes Anderson.
Oh yeah. So it would be him as there's a guy, one of the crew, who is part of, try not to spoil it. So basically, he's that guy's father, and
Okay.
he's hearing about certain things, and from who I want, Annalisa Cochran again. Sorry, I think she's an incredible actress. So I think, and plus she kind of reminds me of Florence Pugh from the original movie a little bit. She sort of has that same sort of thing, so it'd be like a nice little contrast. And also Cameron Monaghan as well, as not her boyfriend, but someone who is in the school, and they're trying to like discover and like find stuff out. And I think I'll just leave it there as like the main like the new cast. But as far as the old cast goes, obviously Florence Pugh reprising a role, and basically, God, this is really hard since you haven't seen the original, but it would basically sort of answer a lot of questions, but continue the story and continue what happened next, and what necessarily feels natural for those characters and things like that. And it would sort of not end abruptly, but there's an ending you think is the ending, but it's not the ending, and the story keeps going.
Okay.
Like there'll be a scene where it's similar to the end of the movie, but it like twists it on its head, so they're like stop or something like that, and then the story kind of keeps going, and they try to basically uncover the mysteries of the world about the whole cult, but the cult people they're not having that, so and
so like it explores like more the the external effects of the first movie.
The effects of the first film, and as different as this one, it would just try to expose what's they're up to and stuff like that, and the internal conflict that Danny Florence Pugh's character has after the effects of the first film. So
I see.
yeah,
It's pretty intriguing, yeah. It's kind of, again, hard for me to comment since I haven't seen it, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
it seems like something like you put a lot of thought into,
Yeah, no,
and I can tell.
yeah. I've been like thinking about it, and I could just imagine like Forrest Whitaker really taking it on really well, and it's like a lot different because they're all like in their 20s. I believe in the first one, late 20s, 30s maybe, and like this one, Forrest is definitely older than that. So just add like a new kind of fresher take, and basically he's actually like a tech guy. So he's like he knows all about like computers and things like that, and he knows all about phones, how they work. So basically, he has a task in this movie to uncover his son's phone that was broken, but his phone is like broken inside the over in Sweden. So he's trying to find a way to basically code it or something like that to actually
track it.
not just to track it, but to try and figure out if he can get into his gallery to go through some of the pictures just to see it, because basically my idea is that the cult people are sending fake pictures of them actually being happy over in Sweden, and like postcards and like written stuff, and they're like, that's not his handwriting, because they're going through like copies and stuff like that, and it's not his handwriting, and that kind of thing. So there's like a creepy element to that. So
Yeah.
and similar to the other one, it would definitely still keep that daylight creepiness anyway, as the first one had.
Yeah, that's something that's something that's like Midsommar's pretty known for. It's like one of like the few horror movies that like mainly takes place in the daytime.
Yeah.
And it's still an effective horror movie.
Yeah. I suppose like that's where I'll leave it anyway. That's my idea. So good pictures, man. Good pictures.
Good pitches, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan of I think Time Travel Story is my favorite of yours anyway.
Yeah, my one of yours is the Martin Scorsese and Kevin Feige
So
one.
that just happened.
Yeah, I really love that one. I think that could actually make a really, really good film. I think the two directors would be up for that, definitely.
Yeah.
As for your parody movies, they can burn in hell, all of them. No offense to you, but I know what the final product would be like. So
you know what these things are capable of.
yeah. But as for the movie with Will Poulter, as a fan of his, I'll eat that up all day. I'll be very happy with that.
Do you think Forrest Whitaker should be in So That Just Happened?
Yes.
I don't remember if he's been in a Marvel movie or anything, or even a Scorsese movie. Like, he's been in Star Wars. Like, he can pass by like Kevin Feige on his way to work. They're probably like working like from lots aside each other.
I go. His character from Battlefield Earth.
Oh my god. Oh no, that's it though. He's filming Battlefield Earth 2. That's the premise. He's filming Battlefield Earth 2. Like, they finally got it made after all these years.
Yeah. And
I've been saying for ages, like, they had all these big plans for like restore the Battlefield Earth verse.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you waiting for?
Yeah. And I think that was all your pitches, really, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, no iron feelings.
No iron feelings. Yeah, I think Forrest Whitaker should be on all of those.
In all of those, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
he plays Ruby Gillman in an underwater movie.
Oh God, yeah. No, look. The thing is, I know like we talk about like Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Jackson and stuff like that, but I feel like for me, just to talk about Forrest for a second, I just found him that he gives more. He's very cool, but for certain parts, I think he gives more of a heart and a sensitivity to him. Similar to Denzel, but I think Denzel is more hardened and stuff like that. So some of them are more hardened, but I feel like Forrest just has like more of like you don't want to upset him because he's just the look of disappointment would kill you and stuff like that. So
Yeah, no,
I
it's
feel
like
he has that. So
it's like when your dad tells you he's not angry, he's just disappointed. It's like you feel like the biggest piece of shit in the world if you get that from him.
yeah. Whereas like Denzel would be disappointed, but he's more angry, and then like Forrest is just like
Yeah.
like you just feel like his character from like different things. I just found him really entertaining lately, and I feel like he could really pull off some of the projects that I had in mind. But yeah, do you have any like ideas of who you would cast for even like some of your ones or whatever?
For some of my ones, well, like I was talking like putting like the Wayans in like my parody movies because I think Scary Movie and everything is what really kicked it out. So
Yeah.
we got to show respect to the roots of the genre
Yeah.
and get them back. Like if he was still around, Leslie Nielsen, of course, would I'm sure he'd love to be in those as well. But tragically, no. But we got the Wayans. So
Yeah.
I was thinking for more influencer cameos, I guess. You know what? I think we should put Pyrocynical into one of these things, into underwater movie. He can play like a sea creature because he's a furry. So we're big allies of the furry community here. So I think we should show some support. But yeah, no. I think. Oh yeah, and as Will Poulter in the Poltergeist movie, I think we should cast Chris Pratt.
I'm sorry I asked this question.
Oh, you think like Will Poulter was like going to play himself in the movie? No, that's too on the nose. That's too on the nose. It's got to be Chris Pratt.
I am officially not seeing Poltergeist.
Oh.
You have to CGI Will Poulter in.
No, we hire Will Poulter, then like CGI Chris Pratt's face on.
No, no. Oh no.
Just to twist the knife that little bit more.
Oh no. No. No.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any ideas for a time travel story? You would cast Chris Pratt, wouldn't you? For
I
the
will,
scientist.
out of respect for you, I will restrain myself from that one.
Okay.
I'm thinking like could be a good older scientist character. I'm trying to think. I don't know why, but Tommy Chong just came to mind. I think that's really funny, but I don't know. I don't know if that's really the vibe we're going for, but I think that'd be funny. But I guess yeah.
Mm.
He seems like the kind of guy that could like invent some shit.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna say Forrest Whitaker again because
No.
I've had so many projects for him. So yeah.
We'll be here with like part 7 of this mini series, and like you'll be going to like, I know I say this a lot, but like Forrest Whitaker, I think I could really bring something to this,
Father Ted.
Father Ted, the American Father Ted remake.
That's Father Jack.
As Father Jack.
Frank.
Who would you cast in an American Father Ted? Jesus Christ, that's sacrilegious even saying it, but like I'm curious now.
Crispin Glover as.
I thought you were gonna say Chris Pratt, and I was like, oh no.
No.
Even I draw the line there.
Yeah, Crispin Glover as remember that guy with Bishop Brennan? And he's like, no, we were wrong by son. And that guy, the sarcastic priest.
Oh, the really grumpy fellow.
Yeah, the sarcastic one. Yeah, Crispin Glover is him.
I agree.
Maybe Giancarlo Esposito as Bishop Brennan.
Oh, that's actually hard. That actually goes hard.
Yeah. As Ted. Leslie Nielsen if he was alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that actually, definitely.
Yeah. Steve Martin, maybe.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah. Chris Pratt as Dougal.
I was thinking like Alan Tudyk or something for Dougal would actually be kind of fun.
Oh, Alan Tudyk. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt can play the American priest from the final episode.
Oh, oh my god.
Although no, wait, no, because that's
It'd be an Irish priest.
That'd be an Irish priest. Okay, who played the Irish priest then?
It's Donald Gleeson. Or,
Oh yeah. Of
or
course.
Killian.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, Cillian Murphy.
And you know what? Since she's a fan, we'll put Florence Pugh in.
Oh yeah, no, established Father Ted enthusiast Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
No, that's
And Cher as well. Yeah.
And established Father Ted enthusiast Cher. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Graham Norton has to come back as well, doesn't
yeah,
he?
Graham Norton, Robert De Niro as well.
Oh man, Robert De Niro would be a funny like Father Jack.
Yes. I had this idea with Rob actually to do a parody of Harry Potter but miscast. So Robert De Niro as Dudley from the first movie.
Oh wow.
So he's like, wake up, cause I'm going to the zoo.
Is like a little 7-year-old kid playing Harry, and then you got like Rob De Niro like, wake up, my fellow cousin. We're going to the fucking zoo, you little bastard.
But like shouting and like jumping on the stairs, like doing the energetic thing.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted a present. I wanted 10.
It's 36 motherfucking presents. Last year I got 38. Last year I got 37, you fucking bastards.
Like full on shouting though.
I got 37, you fucking bastards.
And Seth MacFarlane is Uncle
Oh
Vernon.
shit. Oh my god, Seth MacFarlane doing Peter Griffin voice.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, Harry.
Obviously like the Lois from Family Guy, that actress.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's for another time. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been a good episode today.
Been a good episode, yeah.
Good.
We cooked heavily.
Yeah, good 1 year anniversary anyway.
Yeah.
So sorry for our ongoing shenanigans, but I hope you enjoyed this episode.
No, it's literally like I was thinking as well. We had like our end credits episode, and like it said like the end in the thumbnail, and I saw that and I thought like, oh, if you saw that without like paying attention, like you'd probably think like this meant that was our last episode or something. And then it just so happens after that episode, that's the one like where we. That's the one where like we get into like all this like awkward shit where we have to like where we weren't able to like record an episode for ages, so it's like, okay, that definitely didn't help anyway. That didn't help matters. So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
if you're watching this in the future, you know that won't be relevant, but yeah.
Okay. I'll probably change that to thumbnail to directed by whoever. Anyway, thank you for listening to this, and we'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.
Toodles.